Hey, how's it going? How's it going? It is me. It is let's see, man. It's the end of June. Wow. What is it? 7 more days and 6 more days in June? Man, boy, this summer is going too fast already. Now that it's summer, it's just zipping by. That's crazy. That is crazy. Hello there. How are you? Um, this is something else. Quick weather report. Might get knocked off the air. Got a storm on the way through. Unfortunately, got a storm on the way through this area again. Supposed to be some rough weather coming. I guess I will be finding out. Got to batten down the hatches. Hey, Carmen, what's happening, hon? Got a got a big storm on the way through this area again, and probably another one Friday. And by the way, there's no climate change. By the way, you know, we've always gotten tornadoes like 3 times a week. This is this is ridiculous. What the people that act like our climate has not changed. Record heat in France right now. They boiling in France and Europe. They're boiling. It's so hot over there right now. Record heat. But there's no climate change. You know, no global warming. People think global warming means it's not supposed to snow at all. But again, I digress. We know who those people are that believe that stuff, right? Okay. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Charles? Oh, I hope you're ready for this storm that's about to come through. Man, I tell you, it's crazy the amount of crazy weather we're getting these days. Wow. Um, hey, I gotta play another video from these brothers. These brothers is putting out some pretty good video. It's a couple of guys called Sean and Sean and who I can't think of the other guy's name. You know what? Getting old sucks. Let me stop right here and just say that. Now it's a blessing to get old, but getting old sucks. Now I just looked at their names a couple of seconds ago, and now I can't think of both of their names. Man, godly, this is bad. This is bad. This is terrible. Knocking my shit all off kilter. Been getting rain every other day. Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm not getting any summer. I mean, it's just been wet. Now, at least I haven't had to water the grass or my garden. My garden has been getting plenty of water. Ate a marvelous salad out of the garden today. It was absolutely delicious. Um, but I could do it with a little less rain. I could do it being a little less waterlogged around here. It's getting a little overdone. Uh, like I said, I was gonna play this video with these brothers right quick because they tickle me. And this particular video reminded me of a friend of mine. Check it out.
I do it to myself every single time. Why did I ask you to pick me up? Do you even have a license?
No, I don't. I
You
told
don't.
you it was suspended, but who's going to stop us on a day like this? It's pouring down raining.
You got a double cup filled with vodka while you're driving. Who's gonna stop us?
Nobody.
Right there. They're gonna stop us. You see? Pulled up right next to
I
us.
already had this thought out.
What you gonna do? You gonna run again? What's that, a tea bag?
It's bad.
Didn't work.
It didn't work.
Didn't work.
It didn't work.
Hey, officer.
It didn't work.
You're going bye-bye. You're going bye-bye. I'm not taking the blame for this. Yeah. This time.
I run.
Take it, take it, take
No.
it, take it, take it.
Oh boy, these brothers tickle the hell out of me. They have some serious issues. In the skits, these are brothers. The older brother's trying to take care of the younger brother, but the younger brother just can't get right. Dang, I can't remember the name. I'm gonna have to, hey, y'all look at it. You could probably see the name. I can't remember the name. It's Sean and somebody. I can't think of the other one's name. That's funny. That's absolutely funny to me. Anyway, so I'm gonna play a bit of a White House press conference where our president is claiming that, again, you've heard the claim, that the pool was cut. And I felt it was necessary to play this. Hopefully, I may not play the whole thing because it's really long. It's a 5-minute clip, and 5 minutes is kind of long for these clips to play. But the point is to watch him make up lies is just, it's almost like a study. I could see where somewhere there's a professor, either at the high school level or at the college level, who is teaching a class on watching somebody lie, watching somebody tell lies. Just to watch him make up lies as he goes. Watch this clip and just listen to how long the pool is. Just listen to how long the pool is and how long the cut is that was put in the pool. Let's just listen to that. It is something to watch. And then we're going to talk about something else that went on today. Then we're going to talk about something really important that went on yesterday and today. Lots of good stuff happened. He's blaming Obama for contaminating. Yeah. A pool that was built in 1920 something, I believe it was. And it's Obama's fault. Everything that's ever happened was Obama's fault. Y'all do know that, right? You do know that. Everything that's ever happened was Obama's fault. So just keep that in mind. Understand that. Get it right. Stop thinking anybody else could have done anything. It had to be Obama. Okay? So get it right. Check this line out. Just check out this line. Listen to how long the pool is.
Are the contractors who did the initial work for the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it the vandals that you mentioned?
We have I think 290, 300 foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, but it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, You know, we put brand new beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the Dirty Cop, Tony. You know the Dirty Cop, don't you? Dirty Cop, he's a crooked guy. They destroyed the grass, so that's a big thing. But we're going to get it back very soon.
National Guard and police have been on all over the mall. How would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
Do you have any proof of this?
We didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that? That they
Yeah,
used
yeah,
the
we
knife?
have
You have
proof.
photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof? You think that's proof?
Reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and
Well,
there's no evidence
just,
of
all
it.
you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you. See the secretary. But I saw it. They cut it. They cut it very violently. The same thing with the floor. They cut it. And then they lifted it. They pulled it. And that's what it is. And, you know, we've done over 50 monuments. Number one, we start with, this is now a safe city. It's the safest, as safe a city as you're going to get in the country. And when I came here, it was a very dangerous city. And number two, what we did is the beautification with the parks and the grass and everything, removal of all the tents. And this is like a different place. One of the things we did is over 50 fountains and statues, most of which were in horrible shape. All of them were bad, but some were just absolutely horrible. Graffiti, you couldn't even see the stone. They've all been fixed. We also fixed the reflecting pool. In fact, if you go over there right now, it looks very good. It's up. They put, somebody said fertilizer in the water. If you put fertilizer in the water, you get algae. But somebody said they might have put fertilizer. They did something to create the algae, but that doesn't matter because that's been purified. It's dead. Laying at the bottom, they're taking it out. They vacuum it out. They vacuum it very carefully out. And it'll be back to health pretty soon. We're going to have to let the water out to fix the one little, there's two little areas, very little areas where they were cut. And we'll fix that, but it's not leaking or anything. It's got a base underneath.
Part of what's curious about this situation is we stood here with you in April when you first revealed the plans.
I said what?
In April, you showed us pictures
Yeah.
of what you were going to do at the
Yeah.
pool, and you said you had a guy who was going to do it in a week for about $1 million.
Well,
It's been 2 months and $16.5 million.
Yeah, okay, ready? Barack Hussein Obama, have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He spent 2 years and over $100 million on trying to fix it. You know what happened to it? Never even opened.
Right.
He took the water from the river. You know about that, right? It turned out to be putrid, and it destroyed the whole thing. Spent over $100 million. Him and Biden together spent $147 million. You know what happened? Never opened. You don't mention that, right?
But to Phil's
We spent about 10. Much of the money we spent are park workers. They're there whether they do this or not, as you know. They work in the park, and they're very good workers. They did a great job. So they were going to spend $300 to $400 million. You know that, and it was going to take 4 years.
And you
I
got
spent
$1 million?
I spent about 6-7 weeks, and I spent probably in terms of outside probably $10 million, around $10 million. They say 16, but a lot of that is workers that work for the same thing. So they were going to spend $400 million. I spent 10. They were going to spend 4 years. I spent 2 months, maybe less. And I have a better product. Now I can't help it if somebody goes in with a knife and starts hacking it up. And we also have pictures of it. We have pictures of it. You'll see it in court. You'll see it in court. But all you have to do is call the Parks Department. Call the Department of Interior, and I don't know if their lawyers will allow you to speak to them because you know you write fake news. But call the Interior Department, and I understand they've arrested 5 people, and they have another 5 people that are under investigation. Here's the bottom line: we made so much progress in this city. People don't even recognize.
Could you follow the line? Could you follow along with the line? Now the pool went it went from 100 to 290 to 300. The gash was 100, then 290, then 300 feet. The gash in a 250-foot pool was 300 feet long. And Obama and Biden spent no Charles. Obama spent 100 million. Obama and Biden spent 147 million. and they wanted to spend 400 million and take 4 years. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to spend 400 million. Obama and Biden did. Now, for some reason, 400 million keep popping up. Now, why does 400 million sound familiar? Anybody? 400 million. He's got 400 million on the brain. Now, where do we get that number from? Oh, that was one of the first numbers for the ballroom that started changing too. It was 300 million, then 400 million, then we need, and all of that money then disappeared, and all of a sudden we need 1.5 billion, 1.8 billion from America. So, hey, hey, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Of course, he's not going to bring up the economy because it's terrible. Of course, he's not going to bring up the economy. Yeah, I mean, there's no way this guy's going to talk about the economy. No way. This dude wouldn't talk about the economy if you paid him. He's the only thing he ever says about the economy. Okay, the only thing he ever says about the economy is the stock market's at an all-time high. That's it. Now he'll lie and say prices are coming straight down. They're falling like a rock. Prices are coming straight down. He'll lie and say that in a heartbeat. He'll lie and say that so fast, it's blinding how fast he'll lie and say that. But that's the only economy he knows, the stock market. That's the only economy he knows. Remember something. Always remember this. This is the first thing you think about when you think about this guy. This is a guy who has never done anything for himself in his life. This is a guy who's never picked up a hammer, never picked up a shovel, never washed a dish, never went to the grocery store. Someone told him there was a word called groceries. Remember, he said, I learned a word called groceries. Remember that? There's a new word called groceries. This guy's never done anything in his life. He's never done a thing. So the economy, he doesn't know anything about the economy. And you want to hear something really funny? You want to hear something really, really funny? Those guys riding up and down the street with the big trucks with the big wheels on them and the big flag in the back and the Donald Trump hat and the MAGA hat and all of that. They licking the boots of a guy who has never done anything at all. These guys get up and go to work and they earn their living doing what they do. Most of them do jobs you and I wouldn't do. And they lick the boots of a guy who's never done a job in his life. Never had one job in his entire life. Don't know anything about earning a living. Nothing. He's been rich since he was born. Had everything handed to him. And the guy out there in the sticks who's making a rough go of it, is licking this dude's boots. Talk about sad. Talk about sad. Let's hear what the Legos got to say about the pool.
Donnie, we warned you about your buddy. Told you friendship ain't strategy. Told you compliments ain't loyalty. And now look at this. You need a ceasefire. Iran needs conditions. And your friend Bibi, he's out here doing side quests. Man, what a mess. Ceasefire starts, more strikes in Lebanon. Another ceasefire, another deja vu. People asking, wait, wasn't peace supposed to begin already? Israel says, we still got operational freedom. Iran says, Lebanon stays in the deal. And suddenly, Mr. Tough Guy is on the phone saying,
can everybody please calm down?
hold up, wasn't Iran supposed to be begging? Funny how tables turn. What a mess. What a mess. What a week. Everybody talking peace. Nobody sleeping. What a mess. What a show. Everybody saying yes, but nobody letting go. And now your own people mad. Republicans throwing punches. Reagan's rolling in his grave. That's your side talking, Donnie. Not CNN, not MSNBC. Your own team saying, man, what are we doing? 110 days, billions spent. And we're back negotiating, back talking, back making concessions. History got jokes. And then reflecting, $14 million, blue paint, fancy promises. And the algae says,
Appreciate the renovation.
satellite pictures lighting up green. And another contract, no bids. Another million to clean the thing you just fixed. What a man. The pool reflecting all right. It's reflecting the whole administration. What a mess. What a mess. What a scene. Blue water turning green. Know what I mean? What a mess. What a mess. Can't make this up. Even comedy writers saying, bro, enough. Meanwhile, oil stocks falling, numbers moving, reality talking, because charts don't vote, spreadsheets don't lie, and markets don't care about speeches, Mr. President. Maybe the problem ain't bad luck, maybe the problem is this. Too many announcements, too many promises, too many victories declared, and not enough victories delivered. Donnie, the deal's shaky, the party's shaky, the pool's shaky, everybody's shaky. And somewhere in Washington, a little algae bloom looking at the headlines saying, don't worry, boys, I got this. What a mess. What a mess.
What a mess. What a mess. They are on the point as usual. What a mess. This is that we're in. A mess. And Carmen, you just mentioned his vocabulary getting more and more simple. Put a pin in that right there. Put a pin in that note right there. His vocabulary getting a lot more simple, a lot more slurred, a lot more loose. That was a good observation. We're going to talk about that because there's an issue that has come up for those of you that may not know it. Well, let's talk about what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday was there was a primary in New York. There were primaries in New York. And a lot of Democratic socialists won in New York. Dementia is taking over. I found out that he has a break from 8 to 4. Because he's getting worse. Alzheimer's taking over. When he's in the Oval Office, he's already sitting down. Yeah, you know what? This guy's always sitting down now. He is always sitting down now. That is a very good point. He is always sitting down. That is interesting. So let's talk about what happened in New York right quick though. This will be really quick. New York had primaries yesterday. 3 Democratic Socialists, and I say Democratic Socialists because that's what Bernie Sanders is. Bernie Sanders is a Democratic Socialist. Mondami is a Democratic Socialist. It is becoming okay. Okay? You can't beat people over the head with the term Democratic Socialist anymore. That term is not a bad word. A lot of people on the other side tried their best to make the term Democratic Socialist or the label Democratic Socialist a bad word. 3 Democratic Socialists won yesterday in New York. And one of the people who lost their primary was Dan Goldman. Now, if you know who Dan Goldman is one of the guys who was with Thomas Massie trying to uncover the Epstein files. But the problem with Dan Goldman is Dan Goldman is on Team AIPAC. Dan Goldman is on Team Israel. The Democratic public, and see, the Republicans are trying their best, and the Israel First people are trying their best to make the Democrats look bad for not wanting their candidates to take money from AIPAC. The Republicans and the Democrats who are taking money from AIPAC are fighting tooth and nail to continue to take money from AIPAC and continue to fight for Israel. But the public who is the under 50 in America has started to understand what AIPAC is, what Israel is, and what level of control they have over our government. And on both sides, those under 50 are starting to say, hey, it's time to cut AIPAC loose. Because when you need health care and housing in America and food in America, there's no money. But Israel always get a nice big check every year for free. And in Israel, they got free housing, free health care, free college. They got everything. They do everything for their public. And they get a nice big check from America every year. And the voting public is tired of it. They see it now. They see it and they've uncovered it. Why is that interesting today? Well, also today, what happened today, not yesterday, that was yesterday. 3 Democratic Socialists won yesterday. That's great news. You know who's afraid? Let me put this side note in there. You know who's afraid now? You know who's afraid now? Hakeem Jeffries. Okay. And why can't I think of his name? I can't think of it. You know what? It sucks to get old. The other one from New York, the one who, you know, y'all know who I'm talking about. Somebody help me out here. The one who who's writing strongly worded letters. You remember the guy writing the strongly worded letters. Okay? That guy. Those guys are nervous now. They're nervous because 3 Democratic socialists who have vowed to not take AIPAC money and who have vowed to not sign on to the AIPAC, to the Israel First way of living in Congress. I don't know why I can't think of this guy's name. I keep wanting to say Adam Schiff, but it's not Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff is out of California. These are 2 New Yorkers, Hakeem Jeffries and the old guy. Doggone it. And he's also Jewish, by the way. And Dan Goldman is Jewish. So, I mean, I don't, you know. But they're getting afraid because people have caught on to this Israel First thing, you know. And Chuck Schumer, thank you, James, that guy. I don't know why I couldn't think of that guy's name. Mr. We've written strongly worded letters. Thank you, James. Chuck Schumer. God damn it, I knew somebody knew it. I knew somebody knew that dude's name. I don't know why I couldn't bring it up, but that's the guy. Chuck Schumer. Yeah, those guys are nervous. Chuck Schumer is out of New York. Hakeem Jeffries is out of New York. And they're going to probably get primaried when their rotation comes around. And they are nervous about it because they have went on the record as being for Israel, so damn for Israel, so much so that Hakeem Jeffries went on I've Had It News, their podcast, and said point blank, I'm going to keep taking money the way I've been taking money. I'm going to keep doing it. So, hey, you're going to do it until you're not. There you go. Now, let's come into what happened today. There was a housing bill to make housing more affordable for America. Now, this bill was supposed to be a good bill. I have not read this bill. I have not read anything in it yet. It was a bipartisan bill. It was agreed upon by both sides. And the president was due to sign it today. Sure was surprising to see that Jeffries was taking that money. You know what? Here's the funny thing about that. You would be surprised at who's not taking the money. There's only a few people not taking the money. That's the killer. So many of them are taking the money that it's just, I tell you what, here, let me look this up right quick. I can get this right fast. I want you all to go to a website. When you got to get a minute, there's a website called, if I can see here. 1 second. I know I got it here. This website, trackapac.com. That's it. Trackapac.com. Trackapac.com. And you can see everybody. They list all of the politicians who take AIPAC money. Trackapac.com. They list the politicians who take AIPAC money. And that's just about all of them. Yeah. Hey, yeah, Carmen, absolutely. What you just said. Yeah, he said that he's not signing the bill. They were waiting for him in Congress. And he decided, can't remember what's in the bill he wants signed. The bill he wants passed before he signs this housing bill was the SAVE Act. That is the act that is going to interfere with you voting. They want to interfere with you voting. They say it's just for voter ID. But in the SAVE Act, you have to have this certain ID. If you can't get that, you can't vote. You have to have a passport. I believe you got to have a passport. And also, for women whose ID doesn't match their birth certificate because they got married, guess what? You're not going to be able to vote. There's so many things in it. There's so many things in it to interfere with voting. And the reason the Republicans didn't sign on at this point is because it has such an effect in rural America. It is going to affect rural America worse than the rest of us. That's why they haven't signed on to it. And he's pissed about it. So he left them hanging. They were literally there waiting for him to come and sign the bill. It was going to be a big ceremony at the Senate or at the House, at one of the houses of Congress. They were there waiting. And he tweeted out that he wasn't coming. That's how they found out. He tweeted out that they wasn't coming because he wants the SAVE Act. I'm not signing nothing until you do the SAVE Act, like a little old bitch. That's how he acted, you know. So, from what I understand, he got into they had a real big stink about it. They had a real big stink about it. They blew up yelling at each other, him, Tillis, doggone, and Cassidy, out of Louisiana. Apparently, he just blew up, and they went to cussing and fussing at each other. And it turned into a big blow up, you know, because he did show up at the Senate and to have a meeting with them. And Bill Cassidy said he went off on the motherfuckers. I'm like, I'm glad he did go off on him, because Bill Cassidy, who was not returning, finally found some balls and shit. He found some balls now. Tillis, he done found some balls now because he's not returning. He got primaried. You know, Cornyn found some balls now. He got primaried. You remember in Texas, Cornyn got primaried. He found balls. They done all found balls now that they're not coming back. So, that brings us to what happened today. Now, Carmen, you mentioned his speech and all of that. And I said, put a pin in that. The reason I said put a pin in that is I want you to see what Congressman Lew had to say in front of the podium today. This was interesting as all get out. Check this out.
Chairman Aguilar, inflation is up. Grocery prices are up. Utility costs are up. Housing prices are up. We have a bipartisan housing bill. that both the Congress and Senate passed. There was supposed to be a big signing ceremony today in the Capitol, and then all of a sudden, Donald Trump decides he's not coming to sign the bill. Well, why is that? Did he wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Is he unable to stay awake today? What's causing him to chicken out again? Is it Taco Wednesday? Or is it side effects from a drug? We don't know. This erratic behavior of the president is very concerning. He has trouble staying awake at multiple White House events and cabinet meetings. He has clearly some weakness in one of his arms. He's got swelling in his hands. And the White House needs to come clean. What we know is there's a report saying that one person in America got this special new drug. It was a 79-year-old person who's very high profile, and this drug can only be given to someone under the compassionate use provision, meaning you do that if someone basically has a terminal illness. So we need to know, did Donald Trump get this special drug from Eli Lilly? And did he get it under that provision? And if he did, why is that the case?
Ooh. Ooh. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? That is interesting. One person in America got a brand new drug that is only available if you got a terminal illness. And yes, that is right, Carmen. That is the other thing he is pissed at. I'm happy you chimed in on that because he is pissed that they signed a War Powers Act, which it's non-binding, it's not law. It's not a law because he hasn't signed it himself, but they voted to pass the War Powers Act. And how did they do that, Carmen? How did they pass the War Powers Act? By those four senators that found their balls. Those 4 senators found their balls and signed on with the Democrats to the War Powers Act. You know who didn't sign it? That damn John Fetterman out of Pennsylvania. The Democrat John Fetterman out of Pennsylvania. The new Kyrsten Sinema. The new what was his name? Joe Manchin. The new Joe Manchin. The new Kyrsten Sinema. Remember those two? Those two who ran as Democrats and did everything a Republican would do? Couldn't find a Republican bill or law that they didn't like. I'm so glad those two are gone. And what got me, Joe Manchin ran as a Democrat over and over and over out of Virginia and won over and over as a Democrat. And the reason he won was because he was simply a ringer. He was simply a ringer that they had in the game. They kept electing him as a Democrat, and everything he did was Republican. Joe Manchin. Kyrsten Sinema, ran as a strong Democrat out of Arizona, got elected, and immediately stopped even talking to her constituents. Would not answer the phone, wouldn't have any meetings, and immediately went Republican. Now we got John Fetterman. John Fetterman has done the same thing. Now, the only thing we can do is, hope the candidates that run as what they say they are continue to be that. You never know until the person gets in office. You never know. This Graham Plattner out of Maine, Same thing. Well, you don't know what he's going to do until he gets elected. I hope he gets elected. I hope he gets elected. Because we need strong Democrats to combat this craziness. He's running as a Democratic socialist. Bernie Sanders has signed on with him, and the mainstream Democrats hate him. They have been talking this guy down the whole time. Every place you look, they saying bad shit about Graham Plattner, as if Graham Plattner was the worst person in the world. I mean, the worst thing they've had to say about him was he's had questionable behavior. Ooh, he exhibited some questionable behavior before. That's it. You know, I exhibited some questionable behavior last night myself. You know, what can I tell you? All we can do is hope they get in there. But John Fetterman has failed the test. So, 4 Republicans found their balls and voted on this. So, yes, he's pissed. This guy's pissed that he's not getting his way. He's pissed that the table is turning. And it's turning because he's offended his own side finally so bad. Remember, I was telling you all about this. One of our only hopes is that he offends his own people so bad that they finally start to turn on him. Tucker Carlson has said he's leaving the Republican Party. Now, he's not going to become a Democrat, you know. But he's announced it on his own podcast to his own followers, his own listeners. Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're all starting to turn. What's the other chick name? I mean, not Candace Owens, but the one who was just on Tucker Carlson's show. I can't think of her name. She used to be a Fox News anchor until that relationship soured. But yeah, they're starting to turn on him. He's angered them and screwed them over so badly that they're starting to turn. And that's what will happen. That's what happens. When you build a Frankenstein, the monster always turns on the town. It's happened over and over. And they were coaching her. I think they were coaching who? Candace Owens? I don't know. Or Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know who they were coaching. But the woman I was trying to think of is can't think of her name right now. But she has a podcast too, and she has, you know, and that was the Epstein files. This war, all the money being spent on everything except the American people, and this is, you know. You promised to do stuff for these people, and these people got to explain to their listeners. We didn't know he was lying like this. You know, Sean Ryan, the other guy, Joe Rogan, you know, Joe Kent, all of these people, you know, all these people, they got millions of followers. They got millions of followers. And they're telling their followers that they're done. They're telling their followers the truth. This guy is a liar. Man, sound like a storm going on out there. So I hope I don't get knocked off. If I get knocked off the air, at least we've gotten through the show pretty much, but at this point. But hopefully this trend continues. And is he taking a drug? You know, he's got that funny, he's got the stuff going on with the hands, with the makeup over the hands and the bruising. You know, that's IV action right there. That's got to be from IV. And he has, understand something. Remember this too. He's got 22 different doctors looking at him right now. For those of you that don't know, he's got 22 different doctors looking at him right now. That is interesting. And there is one person in this country that is receiving a new drug. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? We're going to have to keep that in mind. Man, there is a storm going on outside right now. I am looking outside, and there is some rain coming down right now. Man, I tell you. So hopefully this will pass. I hope it just pass on by real quick. But I thought that was pretty interesting that, that part about one person in the country getting this drug, a new drug. I thought that was pretty interesting. You believe he's had a stroke. His right side of his face is slanted down. He doesn't have much control on the right side. You know what? I'm going to have to pay that some attention. I've noticed the jaw, and it does look like almost a lack of control on the lower, and I don't know if that was the right side that I was looking at or not, but it was something about when he was talking. I was like, man, it looks like he's got diminished control over his mouth, but I'm gonna be paying that really attention now, because of course we've seen all of the deteriorate. The dude is hunched over like this at the desk all day, and he can't stay awake. And the stuff that Congressman Lou talked about, we've seen all of that. So there's definitely something wrong with him. We know that. And of course, we're already accustomed to the fact that he's, the first order of business is just lie. I wish his first priority wasn't lying. This dude just has decided, no matter what question he's asked, no matter what situation, no matter what anything is, just tell a lie. Just tell a lie and keep it moving. That's his thing. Lie and just keep moving. Lie and keep moving. And he gets pissed when you don't let him keep moving. When you question him about the lie, that's when he starts getting pissed. That's when he starts calling the female reporters all kind of bad names and everything. It's a shame. It's a shame. But I'm going to be paying that attention. I'm going to be paying that face, that side, that right side. I'm going to be paying that attention now. And I'm going to be trying to look up. Hey, if you all want to look it up, a new drug, one person in the country getting. That's, I didn't know that. I think that's something we should look into. There's a new drug that only one person in the country is getting. This person is a prominent person, high profile person, and he was 79 years old when he started getting the drug, who just turned 80 a weekend ago. We gotta keep looking into that. I'm gonna keep looking into that, looking for information on that, because I wonder if the mainstream media gonna pick that up. Let me know if you hear anything else about that in the media out there. Let me know if you hear anything else about that. I would love to know. So, I had some more stuff, but that's gonna take me well into the next hour, and I want to let you all go. I don't want y'all to stay on here with me this long. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me as usual. I'm gonna cut it right there. Carmen, you're on the money with this stuff. You're on the money with it, because I'm gonna start looking at the dude's right side, and because if he's on his way out, this guy could do anything. He could do anything, and I hope, like you say, he doesn't get his hands nowhere near the codes. You know, I hope what I said the other day is in fact more likely to be what's happening, that there's somebody in the cabinet, there's people there to keep him away from the codes, to keep him away from, you know, the key. You know, I hope, because this guy, if he's on his way out anyway, there ain't no telling. There ain't no telling. So we'll see. So like James say, hey, stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Again, as usual, I appreciate y'all for kicking it with me. By the way, hit that thumbs up. I keep forgetting to say that early on. Hit that thumbs up for me if you can. And because that actually triggers the algorithm to put this out there. Y'all have a good one. I will see you all next week. I'm sorry for not monopolizing the conversation. Type it a lot more quicker. Be careful and stay safe. Hey, you are not monopolizing the conversation. You know, that's the whole point. The whole point is for this to be a conversation. And you chime in anytime you have something to chime in with. Okay, that's how this thing works. You know, there's no monopolizing anything here. You, as well as anybody else, can chime in whenever you feel like chiming in. Okay? It's just that simple. Because I want to know what all of you think. I want to know what each and every one of you think. And as you can see how I get hung up on some shit. So y'all had to bail me out a lot. So and I appreciate it when y'all bail me out. So so there. So he's right. Yeah, Carmen, keep chiming in. Right. Anywho, I'm gonna get out of here. I do appreciate y'all, and let's see. Monday, boy, I tell you what, this summer is going by like crazy. This summer is really going by like crazy. And I mean, it just got to be summer a few days ago. Technically, the 21st, I believe it is. But hey, I want it to slow down already. Hey, you know, getting too much rain, tornadoes, all kind of craziness. What can I tell you? Anyway, Monday, be back here Monday, same time, same place, and we'll get it. All right? Appreciate it. I'll see y'all then. Take it easy.